What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to go over some news that Plarium just dropped on us for the weekend events. Just keep in mind that the Lysanthier fusion is ongoing, so this will be important for those that are going for the fusion. Just let's do a quick refresh on what's happening. We have today is Thursday at the time of upload, and then we have the summon rush that's coming for the weekend. So as part of the summon rush, we do have news of a progressive event from Plarium, so let's go over that. And these are going to be the champions that will be up for grabs, posted just above my head. So quickly going over them here, we got a decent mix here. It's actually some cool champs. They're definitely big game changers if you can get your hands on them. So first, we're going to start off with Armanz here. One of the best, if not the best, if probably top 2 fusions of all time. Definitely best PvP champion that was probably ever released for a fusion. He was the 5th anniversary fusion last year. Incredible champion. He brings the AoE stun here with the turn meter steal. Just absolutely insane ability. And then the sheep ability here is absolutely insane with the strip as well. Speed in arena battles, very important for him. He's going to be up for grabs for the 15x starting tomorrow. Keep in mind the event will last 3 days, so it'll last the entire duration of the weekend and the summon rush event. So after Armanz, he is one of the most recent fusions that we just completed for the 6th anniversary fusion, and he's going to be up for grabs as well. Fabian, I love this guy. He's an absolute monster, game changer as well. Him and Armanz. Initially, I had Armanz quite higher than Fabian just because of affinity. Also, the stuns are better than the fears. Turn meter steal is a pretty massive control for Armanz, but Fabian has definitely shown that he can definitely play on similar levels. He doesn't have as solid the CC as Armanz, basically stealing the turn meter and the full CC stuns, but he just gives off so much CC, so much fears. Petrification is just incredibly nasty. He does have a little bit of turn meter stuff as well. Speed in all battles aura. And yeah, he's shown that he can definitely play. So he's definitely crept up. I would say he's basically right under Armanz. If his affinity was, anything, I think Spirit is probably just a bad affinity for him. But if he was another affinity, it would have just been, he might have been better, to be honest. But he's going to be up for grabs as well starting tomorrow. If you guys missed the fusion, maybe it's time, right? Maybe it's time. But keep in mind, guys, that these progressive events, if you get a legendary, the odds of you pulling one specific legendary on a 15x is about 7%. So it's a pretty long shot. Make sure you guys are only pulling if you guys know your Mercy is coming up or you guys are pulling for the fusion. All right, next up we have a faction unity champion here. We have Dune. Oh, actually not a faction unity champion, but he is Dune Herald Zaharis. He's got the speed in all battles aura. And then he's got an A1 here, stealing the turn meter with a debuff spread. He's actually pretty cool. I think he's pretty cool because he can steal one champion's buffs and then spread them on your team. And then he places block buffs and block active skills on the target. He basically can shut down one target really, really well and then benefit your whole team. So if you're using him against somebody with neck red or something, you can just steal all their buffs and give it to your own team. I've seen this guy featured in a couple 15x, and obviously I previewed him when he was previewed. I've never playtested him. He's not on the test server anymore. I would have wanted to playtest him, but I think, he has an interesting enough kit that he might actually see possibly some play, because you can just build him super fast, super high accuracy, and he can just come in and disrupt the enemy really, really badly. He also has this A3, which is actually really good on a 3-turn cooldown, block debuff, increased speed with the intercept stack. So this is actually a pretty good buff as well. Also, his passive really helps him out. He just drops a increased accuracy whenever the round starts. So he doesn't even need to take a turn, and he already gives increased accuracy to your whole team for 3 turns. So yeah, I don't think he's completely useless. I think aesthetically he probably looks kind of bad. Maybe people just wrote him off. But I think he actually has some potential. All right, up next, up for grabs, we have from the Sylvan Watchers, Oak Padraig. So I have this guy. He was a sorry, not fusion. He was a Heroes Path champion back, I believe, last year. He was pretty expensive, I recall. I recall he was at least 20 sacreds, but he was also part of a, I believe, training event. But anyways, I remember I was on the fence about getting this guy, and I ended up kind of getting him just because I had the resources to do so. But he is an incredible champion. He's an incredible champion. He's got speed in dungeons, not super useful, but he can be used in places like Fire Knight, which is very, very good spot for him. He has this passive, which is really good, just passively places all this stuff whenever he takes a turn. And it really helps. It really helps because your attack-based nuker gets increased attack, and then your defense-based nuker gets, increased defense, and they can both be on the same team. So Padraig gets a lot of value on bigger teams like Hydra. Padraig gets played in my Hydra teams. He's very, very good. He has a turn meter fill here with a cleanse and increased speed, and then he has an ally attack with continuous heal, so a little bit of healing is always good. And his A1 can't be overlooked as well because it gives a chance to decrease the cooldown of a skill by 2 turns. That can be pretty big, especially if you have some big hitters on your team. You can get a little bit more damage if you get a lucky cooldown reduction there. Good base speed at 112, so he's going to be up for grabs. And last but not least, for the non-voids, another pretty good champion as well. We have High Keeper Prysma. Not a lot of footage on this guy from what I've seen, but his kit looks very interesting, mainly because of his passive here. At the start of this champion's turn, he has a 40% chance to remove block debuffs and replace it with block buffs. Has a 40% chance to remove any buffs positively affecting stats and replace them with mirrored debuff equivalent. Increased attack into decreased attack. Buffs such as continuous heal and strengthen will be replaced with heal reduction and weaken. So he basically can flip positive buffs into negatives for your opponent whenever he takes a turn. So it's a 40% chance, not 100%, but it's a very, very cool kit. He also brings additional damage here where he can strip the target and then ally attack with your highest crit damage champion to attack them. And then you get a little boost here where you ignore 35% of the target's defense. It's actually really good. If the enemy is killed by the ally joining the attack, activate an instant turn effect on that ally. So you can kill somebody and then get an instant turn on the ally. Also brings another support here with the single target revive, big turn meter fill here, increase attack in perfect veil, so gives the attacker a little bit of a chance to get a turn. He seems like a really good support champion, maybe some uses in Hydra, for example. You can get some good damage out of this, 3-turn cooldown, 35% ignore defense, right? But this passive screams, something for arena. He has a cool kit. Hasn't seen him used too much, but he looks very good. I wouldn't be too unhappy if I pulled this guy. From all the non-voids listed above, I think all of these non-voids are pretty solid for a pool. So I would say this pool so far looks pretty good. Coming in on the voids, let's see what the voids look like for us. For the weekend, we have, first of all, starting off, we have the Queen of Hearts. Now, the Queen of Hearts is actually very, very impressive. Obviously, when you first read her stats and her kit, it looks really good. But in practical play, especially in the arena, we've seen more of her getting played recently. And yeah, she has definitely shown that she can really, really play. The main thing with her is her passive. Her passive is actually, as good as it looks. For every 10 buffs the enemy receives, grant this champion an extra turn. She could have no speed and this would still go off. She could have no speed and you play her against an enemy Sifi and she will get a turn. If Sifi uses her turn meter boost and all her buffs on the team, she gets a turn and she gets to do nasty, nasty things. First of all, she can play really well once she gets the turn. She can remove all those buffs that basically triggered her turn, place Death Brand, and then places True Fear. So she can CC you and then put a threatening Death Brand on your most important champion. So, and not only that, she fills her turn meter as well. So not only can she take a turn, she can make big impact with the turn that she gets. The full strip, the full CC, and then potentially getting the Death Brand out and then having the opportunity to basically send your whole team into that Death Brand champion makes her an incredible threat. And she is a bit of a niche pick because you want to pick her against a team that you can capitalize this skill on, basically a buff heavy team. But she is a big threat champion, and she really just improves the team that she's on when you get her out in the right situation. So she is situational, but she's really, really good. Great base speed as well at 110. She will be up for grabs. She was the champion chase winner take all champion when that Alice campaign was active, but really, really hard to get her at that point. Up next for the Voids, another incredible Void champion, Odin Faefather. Now, he was in the same way offered as the champion chase winner take all style for the Asgardian Divide last year. One of my top 3 regrets was probably not going all in for his champion chase, because I felt like I had a chance to win that champion chase, and the winner won him relatively cheaply. I would say probably under 20k. I say that, but I've seen Odin, the Odin chase go for way more. So I think under 20k was relatively cheap for that champion chase for Odin. So I think I probably should have went all in. So I slightly regret that. I knew he was a good champion, but for his level, I think what I've seen from him in the arena, he's incredible. He's absolutely nuts. He has the big Void ally speed in arena battles. This is massive. You can easily make a Void team around him, so that is very easy to do. His A1, not too crazy, but you can definitely use this against a support champion and then basically make that support champion a lot squishier. But his big money move here is, he has 2 money moves. His A2 full strips, decreased defense, and then full stuns on a 3-turn cooldown. It's absolutely absurd, this ability. This ability is absurd. Having a strip champion in arena is vital, especially with all these stone skin and buff heavy teams out there. Absolutely insane A2. And then his A3 can hit super hard. He one-shots supports very, very easily, especially with this. And then the revive off of this makes him a consistent threat. So the fight's never finished if Odin is still on the field. And his passive just takes the cake. This passive is super annoying, especially if you're not ready for it. Can easily win the enemy the fight if this passive starts getting out of control. It gives Odin a lot of extra ways to come back into the fight. So for example, you have the passive that keeps him alive. You have this that brings back an ally. You have this that just locks down your team. And yeah, he's an incredible champion. For a Void champion, he does so much. He's one of those champions that almost like total package almost. And yeah, one of my bigger regrets in the game. So he will be up for grabs for this weekend. Unfortunately, I'm not close to Mercy or anything, so I probably can't really gun for him this time. But there he is. He is up for grabs, Odin. And our last Void champion, we have Senna Amberheart. Now, Senna Amberheart, she's a good champion. I playtested her when she was released, and I was like, hey, she has some potential. I paired her with Padraig, got some, continuous heal synergy going on, and it was fun. Lots of turn meter and stuff. But now she's really shining in Chimera. She gets a lot of turn meter. She powers those teams to incredibly high damage numbers. She got the A1 that instantly activates the continuous heal, which synergizes really well with her passive. Whenever a continuous heal buff is activated, fills the turn meter of all allies, not just herself. So everybody gets turn meter whenever she uses their A1. Her A2 here gives a increased speed buff, 2 continuous heals, and a turn meter fill on a 3-turn cooldown. This ability is awesome. Super synergistic with her A1 and her passive. So she powers everybody up with huge turn meter, and then she wraps it all up with a revive. Not the best revive in the world, but she does squeeze a little bit of extra damage out of it when she does use it. She comes in with a speed in all battles aura, great base speed at 113. She is up for grabs, and she is one of the most sought after, most powerful Chimera champions out there, just for her turn meter boosting. Quickly touch on the epics here. Even the epics are actually pretty solid too. We're coming in with Deacon Armstrong. Obviously one of the best epics in the game. I would say top 10 or pretty close. Speed in all battles aura. Got turn meter boost, extra turn meter pushback as well, with a decreased defense on a 3-turn cooldown. A1 leech, very important, especially in the early game for clan boss. Incredible champion. If you have him, you're probably using him everywhere, especially in the early game. Even in the late game, you can still use him as well in some teams. And then we have Stagnite, also up for grabs for the epic. Stag Knight, you know, he's super old. He's super old, but he's shown that he can still play really, really well. He's got the A1 decreased speed with the 3-turn cooldown, decreased defense, and decreased attack. Very, very powerful champion. Good base stats as well for a epic. And then our next epic, actually, I mean, these 3 epics are incredible. Probably 3 top 10 epics. We have Ugo here. You know, she's the most budget or best, one of the best options for Hydra in terms of AoE block buffs. Pairing that with the AoE decreased defense. A1 leech, again, very important, especially for early game. Got a soft cleanse here with a bit of a heal. Yeah, she's great. She's very, very important, especially for Hydra, especially for those accounts just starting out in Hydra, getting those teams together. And she's definitely going to improve your experience there. And then for the Void epics, we have, you know, one of the more recent ones, we have Dawncaller Sabathia. Now, she's pretty good. I wouldn't say she's insane or anything. She got 3-turn cooldown, increased defense, increased attack. That's fine. That's good for flexibility for team building. She has a bit of a heal on her A1, and then she has a pretty cool revive here with the 100% turn meter and then the block damage on your champion that you revive. It's only a single target, but still it's pretty good, especially for an epic. And then her passive pairs really well. You get a little bit of a cooldown reduction. Could be very impactful on the champion that you revive. So if you got her, you're probably using her, especially for progression. She's very, very solid. And then lastly, probably the worst champion in this whole list, but she's not bad at all. Skytouch Shaman, right? Skytouch Shaman, you know, definitely one of the best looking ones. You gotta give her that. But yeah, she brings 4-turn team cleanse and a team revive on death. So team cleanse, team block debuffs, team revive on death. You don't see this too often on an epic champion. You see it on legendary champions, maybe void legendary champions, right? So she's really good for that. If you need a cleanser, she can be your gal. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the list here. Hopefully this video was informative and insightful. What I recommend for this fusion plan that I have going on is that I'm going to be fully skipping this weekend. I'm going to be fully skipping this weekend's summon rush, and I will be focusing on the hero's path that will come next weekend. So next weekend's hero's path will be part of the fusion. It will be shard related, so I will be saving my shards for that event. And yeah, I'll be skipping this weekend, and I'll be skipping one more event because the hero's path will have extra fragments in it, allowing you to skip up to 2 events. So for me, I'm skipping this weekend's summon rush, and then I'll pick another event to skip, most likely the second dungeon divers, but I'll decide that closer to. Just a little bit of flexibility as well is always nice. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about these champions. If you guys are participating, how are you guys doing for the fusion? I know most of you guys are not going for the fusion based on polls I've seen on my channel, other people's channels, Reddit. Yeah, but hopefully you guys watched the video on the epic Yuzan. Very, very good epic. Make sure you guys pick up one for yourselves. Definitely going to help you guys out. Anyways, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys in the next one.